Hey guys, welcome back to the Gigabyte Esports LAN. I'm GESL, joined by ThunderToss. We're gonna have a pretty good game, man. It's gonna be Golden LighT going up against TSL's Inori. Should be a pretty sick ZVP.
Indeed, we have Golden, I think, going 3-0 in his group so far.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
And Inori, I think, is just straight killed every single Zerg that he's faced so far.
Just give him the slap down.
Yeah, pretty much just a 2-0 and looking really strong right now. So we're going to get into this game right away, I think.
Yeah, man, the players are ready, so we can get that started. We have the countdown going. It's going to be on Tomb Valley, which Inori's got to be pretty happy about. So it will be pretty sick, man. We are going to have a really good series, I think. It's definitely two of the favorites. Well, they're basically guaranteed to get out of their group. But it's two people who definitely could do really well in the entire tournament. So spawning now in the bottom left, it's the red Protoss, TSL's Inori.
His opponent is spawning in the top left is going to be Golden LighT.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you think we'll see from Inori here? Obviously, two most common things, obviously, you're going to try to hit two-base timing. You can try to get up into the third of the Zerg, and if you can get up there with force fields, it's almost impossible to stop that. But, I mean, you can also easily take a fast third of your own, defend it at the ramp, so you can force field off, wall off the ramp to your third, and just use this kind of little two small choke areas to defend quite easily and take a fast 3-base.
Yeah, he's been showing us a number of styles, and Entombed is one of those maps where, because of those rocks between the natural and the third, you can both choose to be aggressive against the Zerg third and hope to just force field the bottom of that ramp, or try to take your own third and to have to only defend from those two areas. So both styles are actually incredibly powerful on this map, and we are going to see that probe come in and scout, so he's going to know the positions here. And this actually allows him to do some extra cool things. We see the natural area here. You can put the pylon down and continue to warp in on the high ground. Some Blink Stalker play is possible here. Possibly even Colossi as well, since they're going to be able to run through those small channels in the vertical positions.
Also, obviously, really nice to get Scout first as Protoss, because then you can decide to go Nexus first. You know that it's not going to be an early pool. He's gotten in there right away. And he's not sending down a probe for a Forge just yet, so it will very likely be the Nexus first. It could be a super late Forge, followed up by the Nexus, of course. But yeah, he's queuing up all the way to 17, so it will be Nexus first. And he's going to be able to get away with that no problem. I mean, he knows the timing of Golden LighT's pool here. He knows when really everything's going to happen, so he should have it all timed out. He could probably even go Gateway before Cannon too.
Yeah, we'll see how long he gets the block down at the natural from the hatchery. You see the drone coming there, just going to do that little drone burst probe micro here. And we'll see how quickly Golden decides to go for that third again. Because of the rocks in between those two bases, it's a little bit harder to hold if you have some really aggressive Protoss moves. Just because you can't really reinforce as properly. And there we go, we do see the proxy pylon going down to block that hatchery. So just going to get that little bit of extra space. And in the meantime, we do see Golden's Overlord scouting just the front of Inori's wall here. And that Forge is about halfway done at the moment.
Yeah, and he will be able to go Gate before Cannon, and he's just going to block him at the third too. And this is so annoying. I mean, he's producing 6 lings now. That's obviously more than, generally speaking, you would want to make. And he's probably going to pylon block this too, man. He's microing that probe so well. He's taking so few hits. This is just not stopping, and it's got to be so annoying for Golden LighT, because it is going to get pylon blocked now, and it's going to be ages before he can get his first hatch down. He's up to 600 minerals, and he does not have a hatchery down now, and God, that is just not a situation you want to be in.
Yeah, allowing the pylon in the natural to finish, it does just get taken down, but that third is also going to take a little while longer. The lings right now actually head towards here, but the pylon was canceled, so they're going to take a little bit longer to get to the base. And that gives Inori plenty of time to actually finish up that cannon.
Oh my God, he might actually lose his Overlord.
I think he's fine. There we go. Golden knows, Golden knows. There we see the Cybernetics core going down right now, as well as the double gas for Inori. Still chrono boosting out those probes, and now we're going to transition to that more normal game. Golden now going up to that third hatchery, and still not mining any gas, but he has those 2 queens at the main. So he's going to be able to do those larva injects, and it looks like he's going to start that first creep tumor already as well.
Yeah, Inori is going to get in, see the third, so he knows exactly what's going on. He knows it's going to be that gasless style. But there's, you know, pretty decently heavy supply block there that was on the Zerg for a while, and he wasn't able to produce any drones, and he was already so delayed on his hatches. So I feel like Inori's in a pretty beautiful position. I mean, he got to go for basically the most economic build possible. He went, you know, the Nexus first, followed by Forge, Gateway, then Cannon. He has his wall completed. Everything is looking really nice here for our Protoss player. And it's all just going to be up to him. Is he going to take his third and fourth gas? Is he going to add on a bunch of gates, go for a timing? Only time will tell.
Yeah, at the moment, he's actually up 31 Harvesters to 25 drones. So a nice little lead there, already starting his +1 as well. And again, we're going to have to see when that third and fourth gas come down and whether he decides to play this map as a 2-base timing or use that position of the third and just try to defend.
I really feel like Golden needs to be using these lings to work away on the rocks, though, man. He hasn't even started. And if it is going to be a timing attack on the third, you need those rocks dead, because otherwise, if the Protoss player gets up, they only have to force field the ramp, and they can do that basically forever, you know, with those heavy sentry timings. Inori is going to clean out that circling at his third with the Stalker, so he will be going for that Nexus. Yep, he's going to take that. He needs to work on his rocks as well, but he'll start the wall off here. Very likely send at least one sentry over there if he's not going to kill the rocks before he does that. But he's poking forward with his Zealot, going to see if he can get anything done here at the third. Going to run into a couple lings, and we see so far, Golden is just doing an awesome job poking around everywhere on the map with these Zerglings, looking for any sort of proxy pylons, but there's going to be 2 Stalkers and the Zealot here moving forward and trying to do some damage, and right now there's only the 2 lings to deal with this, so he's actually going to at least force a Spine Crawler, and that alone is something that is nice, you know. It's not like it's really costing him anything other than APM, and a bunch of lings have been forced out too.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage considering that he expanded off of just those 3 attacking units, and we see that's going to be a very early third, and there he goes, walling that entire thing off with the cannon and an extra 2 gateways, while still pressuring at the third of Golden. And so actually doing a pretty decent job here, as the lings still do not have speed, so he's able to micro back incredibly effectively with these 2 Stalkers. Yeah,
and I mean, he's forcing out roaches a lot earlier than his opponent would want, because I mean, Golden doesn't know what's going on, man, so he had to build lings. Now he's going to lose almost all the lings on the retreat here. He's going to lose a drone as well. So, I mean, this is just doing so much damage. He forced out 6 roaches, forced a Spine Crawler, killing tons of lings. He needs to keep these Stalkers alive. He will do so. Maybe going to get another drone, does. And wow, I mean, this is ridiculously effective for how little it has cost him. And in the background, I mean, he's going to have an amazing economy. His third Nexus is already finished. He's working on those rocks, and everything is just looking perfect, and we can really see why Inori is doing so well in this tournament, but it's just wow.
Yeah, he's utilizing this map really well. We see these 5 sentries going out, taking down the rocks here. We also see that Robo coming down, and 3 more gateways. So he wants to build to just increase his production rate, since he is going to be mining off of those 3 Nexi now. And look there goes the probe transfer as the rocks are about to go down. Cannon helping out as well.
Yeah.
And again, this economy is just going to be so strong for Inori. He's up to 60 workers essentially compared to the 67, and essentially on even basis with the Zerg. So he's going to be in a really great spot as he transitions into his mid-game attack. He's got Twilight Council coming down as well, and he's going to be able to prink out a lot of units with those 3 extra gateways.
Yeah, I feel like it might just be one of these massive Blink Stalker kind of timings. He could go with +2, something like that. Just a ridiculous amount of gateways. Because, I mean, he's already up to 7. His production is going to be so good. His economy is perfect. He's going to get some mortals out here. So, I mean, there's a lot of options now for a Protoss player. Once you're up to that 3 base, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And meanwhile, he's scouting around with the Observer. Will he find the Spire? That is going to be huge, because it looks like Golden just wants to go into this Ling Muta counterattack style, and he is going to snipe off that Overlord, or sorry, that Observer with his Overseer and the Queen.
Yeah, that's a very, very huge play there. The Observer did see the Evo Chamber going down, but did not get into the main, where we do see that Spire, like you mentioned, and that Macro Hatch. So he's going to be able to pump out a lot of lings utilizing that extra larva. Even has that extra Queen going, and sometimes you'll see Zergs just use the 1 Queen for those 2 hatcheries. But even going to go throw down a 4th base as well. So his production is going to increase just massively, which is something that you need to do when you want to pump out those larva inefficient lings.
Yeah, you definitely need those macro hatches. You need the extra hatcheries. So he's doing a good job, but I mean, he's saving up a decent amount of larva already. He's going to get his 4th base behind this, and that's something he definitely needs to do. You don't want to be on even bases with the Protoss player. Their units are just much more cost efficient, so you need to have just kind of this swarm that you can keep throwing at them, just wave after wave.
All right, now we do see Inori kind of gearing up for an attack possibly. We have Blink about 75% of the way done, and +2 weapons on the way, but a decent immortal count so far, and if he wants to actually push away these roaches, this is going to be a good time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly Ling. He doesn't really need any more mortals if he doesn't want to make them, but he obviously doesn't know exactly what the composition is. There's just the 6, so it would be nice for him to make a transition over into Colossus. It's extremely powerful against this Ling Muta composition, because the Lings just get absolutely roasted. Adding on even more gateways, going to be going up to 9. And I don't think he's going to expand again. I think he is just going to hit a timing. He's adding on that Warp Prism, so he'll be at 9 gateways. He'll have +2 with the Blink. And I don't know if Golden is going to be able to do anything about this. You know, he's got a bunch of mutas out, but I feel like he just has to counterattack. I don't really feel like he can engage this, but he's going to go for it anyway. The force fields are late. All those links get in this round. He's going to blink back, but that exposes all the sentries.
And he does not actually have a lot of zealots here, but the Blink
He's on
Stalkers
move command, man.
trying their best to take down the Mutas. But that is such a large force from Golden. I don't think Inori was expecting this. The one observer he had on the field just did not give him the right information, but blinking all over, and the Lings are just streaming in as they did get taken down, but the Immortals still trying to do as much as they can. But the Mutas, I think, are overwhelming the Stalker numbers. The supplies right now a little bit ahead for Golden, but having to retreat from the +2 attacks from Inori as he does survive that attack and is continuing to pressure here.
Yeah, I mean, Inori was on move command there for about 5 or 6 seconds with his Blink Stalkers, and that was a huge miss snap, but I don't even think it's going to matter, man. The upgrades are too good right now. It's 0-0 Mutas against these +2 Stalkers. More and more Warpins are joining the forces. Look at the mini-map. He's blinking forward those reinforcements. The War Prism has arrived as well, and I don't think there's anything that Golden could do. You can see that the supplies are now even, and these units are just so cost-efficient with the micro that Inori has. He's going to warp in even more Stalkers. He's going to try to snipe off that War Prism, but it's not going to be in time. One blink forward could be the end here for Golden.
He has almost essentially taken down the reinforcement route, but there's so many Blink Stalkers here, and Mutas just are not very effective at defending. They're harassing units, and the Blink Stalkers with those such high DPS is able to take them down. The Immortals pretty much useless here as they only have Lings and I guess Queens to fight against, and there it is, the GG.
Yeah, the off hasn't blinked enough to finish it off there. I mean, that timing attack was just too strong, and although Golden, you know, like you said, he had probably a lot more units than his opponent was expecting, I still feel like you can't just straight up engage that. You have to just try to avoid it. You have to go for a counter-attack style. It's like, I mean, mutiling, it can be really good, but only if you're going to absolutely just smash the army you're engaging. If it's going to be close, then mutas aren't really that good in the straight-up battles. Right,
the mutiling force is just so mobile, but as it stands, it's relatively weak in a straight-up engagement. And even though he kind of negated the effectiveness of these Immortals by not having the roaches, the mutas, they just don't have enough health, and he just couldn't withstand the Blink Stalker pressure there.
Yeah. And I mean, the timing was really nice. He didn't really get much of a chance to get any harass or go on the offense with the mutas because, I mean, the timing attack came out literally as his mutas were popping. So it was definitely a rough situation. You know, something I would have loved to see from Golden is maybe a bunch of spine crawlers. That's something you see very commonly with the muta style. You know, if he had, say, 10 spine crawlers around the area between his third and his fourth, then I feel like he could have delayed a lot more effectively, keep the Lings at home, use the mutas to try to bring back and make Warpins come in at home, try to gut some of the mineral lines, and possibly he would have been able to buy enough time to get something done.
Right. I think it all comes down to that beginning pressure with that one stalker, or sorry, 2 stalkers and 1 zealot, and doing a little bit more damage than Golden saw, and then Inori playing so greedy there was able to increase that the time for his timing attack and get a little bit sooner, and then Golden was a little bit later. Now, a lot of times when that happens, your mutas are starting to harass the Protoss. They can't really go for it, or else you can threaten the base trade. But since he was already halfway across the map with that War Prism out, there was just nothing Golden could do.
Yeah, definitely. Inori just playing all stages of the game perfectly, really taking every advantage where he can get it. The players are ready. We're going to be going into Metropolis here for Game 2. A nice map pick for Golden LighT. I definitely love it. You can control the watchtowers. You can spot any timing attacks coming out. So it should be a good one. And I mean, do you think Golden's going to be able to take a game, or you think Inori's going to make it a clean sweep, man?
Like I said, Inori's been looking so strong. He's owed all of the Zerg opponents so far, and looking pretty strong in that last game as well. But Metropolis definitely going to give a little bit of an edge to Golden. He feels comfortable on this map. It's a little bit longer, a lot more wide open. And
he's got the spawns he wants, man.
Exactly. It's going to be cross positions here. Spawning in our left side, we have Golden LighT. His opponent, our red Protoss, is going to be TSL Inori.
Yeah, so we're going to have this PvZ here for you on Metropolis. Cross spawns. Golden is definitely going to be really happy when he finds out about that. It just buys you that much more time. Obviously, as a Zerg player, you want to create your units in rounds. You want to go a round of drones and then a round of units. And the longer you can delay making units, the better it is for a Zerg player, because obviously both your economic units and your attacking units come out of the same building, the same hatchery, right? So you have to use larva for both. And just being able to get the maximum amount of drones you can with barely holding off the attacks is really how you want to play it.
Right, exactly. A lot of the pressure that we see Inori doing is meant to sort of disrupt those rounds of production as we saw last game. Just feigning that pressure so well, even though he really didn't have any units, even putting that proxy pylon down, not really going to dedicate himself to warping in units there, but forcing the proper reactions from Golden. So we'll see if Golden bites the bit here on this map. Since it is a fairly long map, you can actually deny that proxy pylon relatively easily, and that's going to mean that he knows that no real pressure is going to come off as long as he scouts the map properly.
Yeah, I mean, something that a lot